So as I mentioned, it's only available in the web side of things at the moment. We are looking at how people are using it within this platform, and there are plans to extend it out in a couple of areas to make it available for app users as well, but also have the ability to potentially integrate with scanning hardware that you guys might use on farm. But just to do a quick example here, we'll just use the web. So what I'll do is I'll just create a new consignment. Remembering that if I use a template, this is the easiest and simplest way of creating a consignment because you have all the forms filled out, and all you need to do is just update some specific things around that consignment. So I'll just select a cattle one here. I know where it's going. All I need to do is just update the date. So we'll move it today. I'll go in and just edit the number of head that I'm moving as part of this consignment. So we have 19 with electronic ear tags. Okay, and then finally, because everything else is pre-filled, I just need to click the declaration and then I'm ready to submit the consignment. So at this point, the consignment has been submitted, and you'll see that we have this new function here about how to start that movement off your property. So as a sender, you can help the receiver in this process by adding the devices. To do that, just click on this button and you're presented with this screen. So you can there's two options here. You can either upload a file. So if you're doing a large consignment and you use scanning hardware on your property, you can get the session output of that. We cater for most of the scanners output. And as long as you load it up as a CSV or a text file, we'll accept it as part of this function. Or if you've just got smaller stock and you have the IDs in your black book or something like that, you do have the option to put it in manually. For this example, we'll load up a file, so you can just choose the file, load it up, and then through the next step. And at this point, we do a check against NLIS. And there's a few things playing back here. And just to give you an example of how we potentially play back issues with the devices that you're adding. As you can see here, we've got an error, and we can validate that the ID that you're loading is correct and a valid ID. So in this instance, it's invalid. So it might be a bad read, or you've put in a device from something else. So we can call that out explicitly, so you can edit that at this point. The second error or warning that we're playing back to you is that this device that's been added is not on your pick. So that may indicate that either you're moving off this animal before moving it onto your pick, and you may have missed the transfer. And this can obviously have some impacts to lifetime traceability and so forth, and cause issues when it gets to the receiver. So we can call that out at this point. So what I'll do is I'll leave these guys here. So as I said, this is voluntary. You can leave it as this, and it will then go on to the receiver to review. So if I switch personas and go to a receiver of that consignment, I can see that I've got an incoming consignment here. Through here, I can see that the tags have been added to the consignment, and we do pop up this information to kind of explain to you. So if you're not 100% sure what it means, there'll be some like tool tips and helps as you go through. If I want to go and have a look at what's been added by the sender, I can use the View NLIS devices. But as it's pointing out at the top to you, to actually do the movement or do any review of this, you need to switch to your NLIS account. So we do have the ability to link your LPA account and your NLIS account through MyMLA. If you haven't done that, there's plenty of collateral on the comms teams have put up on our website, or there's a quick link here to give you a guide on how to do that so that you can do the next steps within the movement. So what does that mean? So in this example, I do have an NLIS account linked to my LPA profile. So when I switch to that, I still see the incoming consignment, but what I can do is complete the NLIS movement now. So as I go in, I still see that I've got errors and warnings, but I can actually do something about it now. So for this example, and to just explain that you can, as a receiver, do this without the sender adding the tags. You can do it yourself. I can choose to replace the tags because I know what's been received. And it's the same pattern. So we can upload the file. So in this case, I'll choose one that has no errors. And then I push it through, and you can see that all these devices are okay. There's no issues, there's no warnings, no errors. And all I need to do is to move it onto my pick is click this button. And then what happens is that does the P2P transfer within NLIS. You'll still get the same notifications from the NLIS database. So the receiver will get a notification of the movement, and also the sender of the move off. So everything is the same. It's just that you're facilitating that movement from within eNVD instead of having to go to NLIS. If I want to go back and have a look at what's happened, you can see that the movement is complete. Um, and if I view down into the details, I can see that the upload ID is presented to me. So if you did want to go into NLIS for a reference, you have that, and then just a summary of what's happened and the date. We also have a quick link into NLIS too there if you need to log in and double check what's going on there.